श्रीमती प्रतिभा मंडल जी।
Sir, on behalf of All India Trinamool Congress, I rise to speak on the protection of interest in Aircraft Bill 2025. Sir, just 3 to 4 days ago, we are discussing about the exorbitant air price, and the Honorable Minister has failed to give any satisfactory reply regarding these airfares. So, sir, once our Honorable Prime Minister said that हवाई चप्पल वालों भी अभी हवाई जहाज में चढ़ने का सपने देखते हैं. So my question to the government, still the government believes this promise, and I would like to know from the Honorable Aviation Minister, is there any mechanism how to handle these exorbitant airfares? Sir, India is a big country, and we do not have, right now we don't have any national carrier, and all the airports are operating by the private players. And sir, this bill is designed to protect international creditors and aircraft leases, not the Indian people. It prioritizes the financial security of foreign investors over the stability of our airlines, the livelihood of our aviation workers, and the rights of Indian passengers. This bill gives immense power to creditors, allowing them to quickly repossess aircraft if an airline defaults on payments. So many Indian airlines, including major players, have faced financial turbulence in the past. If this bill had been in place during the crisis faced by airlines like Jet Airways or Go First, creditors would have swooped in immediately, repossessing aircraft without giving these airlines a fighting chance to recover. Instead of helping the industry stabilize, this bill could accelerate airline bankruptcies, reduce competition, and ultimately lead to higher ticket prices for ordinary citizens. And what happens when airlines suddenly lose aircraft? Flights are cancelled, passengers are stranded, and disruptions become the normal. Instead of ensuring safety, affordable, safe, reliable air travel for Indian citizens, this bill threatens to create instability in the very industry it claims to strengthen. And, sir, let us not forget the hard-working people who keep our airlines running: pilots, cabin crew, engineers, ground staff, and countless others. If airlines collapse under the pressure of aggressive aircraft repossession, thousands of jobs will be at risk. Do we really want a law that puts foreign investors' interest above Indian workers' livelihood? And what about our national economy? Supporters of this bill claim it will bring more foreign investment into our aviation sector. But at what cost? If airlines are constantly at risk of losing their planes, they will struggle to expand, innovate, or even survive. This could discourage new entrants into the market and hand over control of our aviation industry to foreign leasing companies and financiers. And what is most troubling is the lack of balance in this bill. Yes, we must honor our international commitments, but we must also protect our domestic interest. The bill fails to provide airlines with sufficient time or legal recourse to renegotiate leases during financial distress. It disregards the fact that the aviation industry is cyclical. Ups and downs are part of the business. Instead of helping airlines recover, this bill seems designated to push them into insolvency faster. Moreover, the bill overrides existing Indian laws, including aspects of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. This could lead to legal confusion, prolonged court battles, and an overburdened judiciary rather than the streamlined process that its supporters claim. And I would like to request the Honourable Minister that Sir, our government of West Bengal has already provided land for construction of a second airport, very close to Netaji International Airport, sir. I would like to know the present status of this project. And, sir, I would like to request Honorable Minister to introduce 2 planes, at least 15 days intervals from London to Kolkata and from France to Kolkata. If Honorable Minister initiate this process, then I would be happy for this. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member.